Welcome to the Limerick Post Show with me, Meghann, Scully. Delighted to be joined by Limerick man himself, Kieran Hartigan, aka Lowkey Lu. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm really well, thank you. You were just telling me before we started chatting that you're back to LIT.
Yeah. It's my third week back now.
What are you studying?
Music technology and production.
I probably could have guessed that actually. Now how are you finding
Yeah.
it?
It's been great. I'm my third year now, and it's the perfect course for me. Like I tried business before, and it just wasn't for me at all. So it suits me down to the ground. Loving it. Great bunch of people there as well.
It's great as well, I think, to be following,
Yeah.
you know, what you want to do, because I think a lot of times when it comes to college, people can fall into the trap where they're like, have to do like certain, you know, there's certain course that they think they should do. It's like, well,
Yeah.
actually, I've no interest in that at all.
Yeah, I found that definitely with the business course. I think maybe 2 months in, and I knew it wasn't for me at all. And I've met people in the same situation. It's so common, you know.
Absolutely. Now, Kieran, before we get to the whole music, what's it like being back in third level? Obviously, you've 2 years done LIT,
Yeah.
so you've experienced what it's like to have a busy campus, to have all the students in, to be able to go to canteen
Yeah.
freely, to be able to socialise. So how has it been so far?
To be honest, I've only had one day back. I was waiting on COVID test results, so I've only had one day in college. But from the online side of things, I can see it puts huge pressure on lecturers, but they're adapting to it and they're doing the best. They're making the best of a bad situation. We're still getting the content. They're working with us, and we're getting through it all right. Like,
Did you find now
but
maybe being like kind of during lockdown, you know, probably using like videos, using Zoom, using things like this, even just with friends, did you find you kind of maybe it almost had you prepared then for starting third level online?
to be honest, I left things very last minute. I only started using Zoom about 2 weeks ago, and I only started using all this. So a lot of it is still new to me, but I think as a society, we're all kind of ready for this anyway. Like we've been experimenting with online classes way before the coronavirus thing started, and it was only a matter of time before this became integrated more, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, moving on to Lowkey Lu. Tell me all about it. Tell me first about the project, when you started it and why.
Yeah. Well, I would have started writing it a long time ago. So there's lyrics on it from back in 2017, like January. Then I was in a very bad place mentally,
Mhm.
and that would have been right after I dropped out of that course. Actually, going back to that, and working from there, I got my life together a bit more. I quit some of the bad stuff I was doing, started putting my head towards a more positive thing, and that was music. So I just kept making these rap beats, and I used to be more into the house music thing, so I started with these rap beats and writing lyrics, and that was an ongoing process for years. I did a couple of different courses and things like that to improve, and met a load of great people along the way as well, who helped give the project a final push when I was kind of run out of energy towards the end.
I have to say, Limerick has a great rap scene.
That's why I moved here. Yeah, it's
Yeah, really good rap scene.
you'd even back in Waterford, we were hearing about like what the lads in PX are doing and things like that. The live shows, so many people dropping projects the whole time.
Mm.
So that, and the fact that it's got that music technology course, it's the perfect place for me to be.
That's
So
brilliant.
my girlfriend and I, we moved up here. She does photography and was involved in the project as well in terms of the music video and that. And she studies photography up here too. So it was just the perfect place for both of us. There's a lot of like-minded creative people, and you see that on the project, like people like the mix engineer, several of the other producers. There'd be people from Limerick or LIT even.
That's one thing I love there you said about too. I'm
Yeah.
from Galway myself, and it's like I think I
Yeah.
moved here a couple of years ago now, and I have to say it's just a really creative city, and it's got such a cool vibe that I think a lot of people that maybe aren't as familiar with Limerick don't really understand and realize, and then they come down here. Like I've
Yeah.
friends that come down for a weekend, and they're like, "This place is so much fun." I was like, Limerick's got so much going for it, but not even just with rap music scene, with every genre. Like you've got
Oh
jazz,
yeah.
you've got spoken
Yeah.
word, you've got hip hop, you've got like grime. There's everything here. It's like I think anyone that's into music, I think it's a really great place to be in Ireland
Yeah.
because there is so much going on. And one thing I love is how supportive people in Limerick are with all the musicians. Everyone knows each other and everyone's really
Yeah.
like working together and everything. So it's
Yeah.
a really cool place.
Yeah. No, it's unique, and I had no idea what to make of it when I first got here because it's so different to Waterford. But once I found my feet and started getting to know people, I've learned so much just from sitting down with this producer or this rapper, you know, they'll just share what they're doing, give some insights, some feedback into what you're doing. And it's just a huge community of artistic people. It's great to be a part of, you know. So
It's
I landed
absolutely,
on my feet.
yeah, it's absolutely incredible. And then talk to us then about the course then. So obviously there's it's a group of like-minded people in music production.
Mm,
So do you all
yeah.
work together then and kind of, do you all kind of spend like you're literally all your time together, or how does it work?
There's about 33 of us left now, and there'd be a wide range of genres, and we would collaborate with each other very often. Like I see people just popping up left, right, and center with this project, that project, that project. And it's great to be involved in that, because I come from rural Ireland where there's nothing going on ever. So having stuff happening all around you and stuff to be involved in is brilliant, like, you know. And you'd experience things you wouldn't, like if I was just here by myself, I'd just be making rap songs. But
Yeah.
through that, I've done stuff to do with, you know, putting music behind movies, maybe other genres like rock, learn how to record guitars, for example, something I
Cool.
wouldn't have went near otherwise.
That's
You
pretty
know,
cool,
so I
because
love
I
that.
suppose nowadays one thing I've noticed with the music industry is how all the genres are mixing now and everyone's coming together.
Oh yeah.
So there's no, like, back in the day it was like pop state of pop, rock state of rock, rap state
Yeah.
of rap, but now it's kind of like, okay, what can we add in here to kind of mix it up and give it
Yeah.
a little bit of a different sound, which I really enjoy.
Yeah.
Like, I love hearing one genre but then hearing something else coming in
Mm.
throughout.
No, yeah, I think the best artists are the ones who don't put these limits on themselves. They're the ones who just, they use whatever as a tool to express themselves. And you see that with, even in the past, great artists have always kind of blended genres and not really cared where the lines were, you know. If I'm making sense here.
Yeah, and I actually have to ask, speaking of rap artists, who are your go-tos when you were growing up, or possibly still are?
I really love old school kind of stuff from the 90s. Like I'm a huge
Mm.
fan of Wu-Tang Clan. I love like the Tupac, Biggie Smalls, their kind of older albums. But in modern rap, there's a lot I listen to as well. So I go between different moods. But with the modern stuff, I'm a huge fan of Lil Peep. Like I got into his music a while back, and you know, and yeah, I've a lot of Irish artists I love too, like Kojak, Hazy Hayes. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there's so many, you know.
Yeah, there is, and like I love you mentioned Hazy Hayes there, of course, a
Yeah,
Limerick man as well. So no, I've said there's a great scene of it in Limerick, and I think that's one thing now. Hopefully, as restrictions start to ease and maybe hopefully get
yeah,
lifted, you'll be able to get back into the venues and have more gigs, because it's kind of restricted at the moment with the numbers.
yeah,
But I think hopefully if we all stay working together, we can like start seeing venues start to fill up
yeah,
again, or even just for you guys to be able to get onto stage together and even record stuff in a venue would be
yeah.
great.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of possibilities. Like even the way it all now people have to sit down and stuff. It's just you can adapt, bring a different type of music forward, and it's just something. Maybe you won't have the same type of music with people going mental to, but you could have stuff that's more storytelling based, or you could have, you know, just kind of calmer music that people can enjoy while having a pint or a meal or something like that, you know. So people will always adapt, you know. Yeah.
Absolutely. Kieran, where can we find you and all your music online?
The latest release, Something from Nothing, it's on Spotify, it's on Apple Music, all that. You can find more about it on equalizerecords.com. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram, just search Lowkey Lu. And there's there's a lot of older music out there as well under the same name. So all on YouTube and that. So searching, you'll find
Before
so
do we let
much.
you go back to your lectures now? Where did Lowkey Lu come from?
Kind of blended Loki from Norse mythology with Lu from Irish mythology into one, because I like
Love
both
it.
of their stories and things like that.
Oh, cool.
So
So a big
just changed
mythology
it
fan.
one around. Not a huge mythology fan. It was more like I just got really into their stories at that point when I was looking for a name, and that kind of stuck. I went through a lot of names over the years, and that one just lasted.
I have to say, I loved Irish mythology growing up myself, so I
Yeah,
think that's really cool as well. I love what you've done there.
yeah,
Kieran Harskin, aka Lowkey Lu, thank you so much for joining us on the
yeah.
Lyric Post Show. Good luck with the rest of
Thank
your
you.
LLT,
Yeah,
but more importantly with the music, and I'm sure we'll
yeah,
start seeing you around more and more
yeah,
as said restrictions ease.
yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Ellie.